Happy to be Batko on the pod. Really happy to
Terence, yes, we have you back, guy.
I am Batko Death Destroyer.
For episode 20 and episode 21 of the Eurocentrist, because Ben went out of his way to make this as short as possible, and he still wrote 19 pages.
Yeah.
I made him promise not to just proselytize to the audience the entire time.
Well, he only
anarchism.
did that like half of the way.
That's way too much. A third would have been too much.
We should have known an anarchist was going to write a manifesto.
Yeah, frankly.
Oh.
If only we had known what you were going to stick us with, Paul.
What a weird coincidence.
What a weird coincidence.
This is an anarchist tweet. It's like 40 pages long. That's how long. That's one tweet for anarchists.
This is what happens when you take away Twitter from anarchists.
Yes.
They write this instead.
They turn to the dark world of academia.
Yeah. They got to bother people there now instead of you on your smartphone.
What is an X? It's a K, right? In Cyrillic? So the platform would be K.
KK is 2 X's.
KK.
All right, we're on KK now, and we have 19 pages, and we have an updated picture of Batko himself, a little bit older Batko, just so as a reference point.
He's got a sexy face scar. Look at that.
Yes.
Right, so you said they rub dirt in their wounds or whatever to make their scars worse. Didn't you tell me that last time?
Huh? What?
All these guys have the crazy scars.
No, that's a different thing. Different thing. Yeah.
Oh wow. So what's his excuse?
I think this is just a battle scar.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I think
that's him trying his best to make it heal. That's just Ukrainian medicine.
Yes,
I was gonna say
that's 1910s, 1920s.
Okay, yeah.
So, welcome back to Nestor Makhno Part 2. And we'll start off by a quote by Pyotr Ashinov. Quote, as soon as they entered the city, they declared that they did not represent any kind of authority, that their armed forces obliged no one to any sort of obligation and had no other aim than to protect the freedom of the working people. The freedom of the peasants and the workers, said the Makhnovists, resides in the peasants and workers themselves and may not be restricted. In all fields of their life, it is up to the workers and peasants themselves to construct whatever they consider necessary. As for the Makhnovists, they can only assist them with advice, by putting at their disposal the intellectual or military forces they need, but under no circumstances can the Makhnovists prescribe for them in any manner. All right.
I like that they roll up to a village and they're like, we have no authority over this jurisdiction. We don't believe in that.
We're just here to talk.
Literally.
We're not oppressing you right now.
Please listen to us.
Stop resisting.
Stop resisting, but also don't listen to authority. But also we're the authority, but we're not authority.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're just the better alternative.
Yeah.
It's complicated. Here's a paper.
All right, first chapter.
Here's a manifesto.
All right, first chapter. Anarchy in action. From January 1919 onward, Nestor Makhno's hometown in Huliapol was free of enemy occupation. The Makhnovists, forging an uneasy alliance with the Red Army, had pushed Denikin's white troops far to the east, meaning the town, and with it the larger area of the Makhnovshchina, could freely proceed with the social revolution. Free workers, communes, and Soviets were created, and on April 10th, 1919, a third Congress of Workers, Peasants, and Insurgents, great combination. My favorite 3 kinds of flavor of ice cream.
The Marxists, the anarchists, the agitators. You guys remember the Donald Trump quote from 2020? It's me and my friends on a Saturday night, the insurgents, the peasants, and the workers.
So they had 2 congresses before that in January and February of that year. And called by the... So January, February, and April. 3 congresses. You know, gotta have all those meetings.
Just a few.
Email hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
But what are they all about the same thing, or what's...
Basically, yeah, just to form basically the structure to make it work, basically.
But they don't believe in that.
Well, some of them don't, yeah. Called by the Revolutionary Military Soviet, which was itself elected by and accountable to these congresses, was held. Bigger than the previous 2, the Congress saw delegates from 72 volosts, those are administrative districts, with a total population of 2 million people meeting in Huliapol. These directly democratic congresses, as historian David Footman summarizes, were called, quote, to clarify and record the decisions of the toiling masses and to be regarded as the supreme authority for the liberated area. So they are trying to do statehood now, basically. They're like, okay, we have to get legitimate, you know?
Ukrainian statehood? Sorry, wait,
Yeah,
no.
well, Makhnovists.
Makhnovists, they want to have their own state.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Which still seems very counterintuitive to what anarchy is.
Well, you got to have some external reach, you know? You have to have a structure in place at some point.
We don't believe in that, but we got
well,
a little bit.
They believe in a structure. It's just the most loosey-goosey version of a structure.
Yeah.
Where
They
it's like,
still
no,
call it-
you on a local level decide what you need to do, and everything else that is reaching beyond your capacity is decided by everybody else.
They're still calling it a supreme authority, though. That's why I'm skeptical.
Well, because it's directly elected by those 2 million people. I mean, that is as direct democracy as you can get, basically.
A direct democracy, yeah, that's not the same as a supreme leader. A supreme leader carries very different connotations.
Oh, yeah, that is fair.
Again, it's the anarchists not really being very good at branding.
Ooh la la!
Hello.
Nice.
I'm back.
Save
I
some for
have to
Patreon.
pixel that.
Nip slip live on the podcast.
Finally, there's a reason to watch the YouTube videos.
Welcome.
Of course, the working class taking control over their own lives went against everything the Bolsheviks really stood for, as can partly be seen from the fact that in April 1919, in Ukraine alone, they had to deal with 93 separate armed rebellions against the dictatorship.
How many? 93.
Yeah, the Russians are not beloved.
Imagine
Wow.
if January 6th happened 93 times. Imagine if that.
But actually to change it for the better.
Well, I mean, it's the same. It's in the same that it is like an armed insurrection.
Yeah.
Basically, they're trying to do good, but they're trying to overthrow an anarchist leader. Like,
So
you
that
see,
is-
that's how that's
so
counterintuitive.
Yeah, but 93 over a year, that's like one every 3 day basically, every 3.5 days.
Literally.
Oh, that is great. Unsurprisingly, Red Army military commander Pavel Dybenko tried to ban the Congress for being counter-revolutionary. The Congress' immediate reply to this bullshit is worth quoting at length. Quote,
We'll see.
we'll judge that, Pat.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Quote, can there exist laws made by a few people who call themselves revolutionaries which permit them to outlaw a whole people who are more revolutionary than they are themselves?
This is the Spider-Man meme where they're like pointing at each other. No, you're the counter-revolutionary.
No, yeah.
You're the counter-revolutionary.
Yeah, exactly. Is it permissible, is it admissible that they should come to the country to establish laws of violence, to subjugate a people who have just overthrown all lawmakers and all laws? Does there exist a law according to which a revolutionary has the right to apply the most severe penalties to a revolutionary mass, of which he calls himself the defender, simply because this mass has taken the good things which the revolution promised them, freedom and equality, without his permission? Should the mass of revolutionary people perhaps be silent when such a revolutionary takes away the freedom which they have just conquered? Do the laws of the revolution order the shooting of a delegate because he believes he ought to carry out the mandate given him by the revolutionary mass which elected him? And whose interests should the revolutionary defend? Those of the party or those of the people who set the revolution in motion with their blood?
Great question.
Yeah.
That's gonna be. That's what makes this tough. I think it's what makes this a difficult revolution. You know.
It's just,
No, you did it.
Yeah.
No, you did it.
This is just so petty. Like, this is some French Revolution bullshit. It's the same shit minus the guillotines.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of
Well,
wish.
but they have to fight the Red Army and the Whites at the same time. You know, it's not a great time to be
Yeah.
an actual an actual revolutionary.
It must have been, honestly, I feel like I would have quit just because not only do you have to deal with being attacked on all sides by the loyalists and the Soviets,
And the Austro-Hungarians.
And the Austro-Hungarians. But the Austro-Hungarians, I mean, they're not that...
They're not good at their job.
They're not good at their job, so they're really not that much of a threat. I leave these guys just because they're fucking annoying. It's so annoying. Like, no, you mean to tell me we're fighting for a revolution and I still have to deal with some bullshit inside?
You still have to agree to the terms and services, and you have to read all of them.
I have to read, exactly. That's actually
More reading.
Unskippable terms and services.
Literally.
All right. The Congress decided to conduct a voluntary mobilization of men to fight the whites. Speaking of mobilization of men, accounts of the Makhno movement mentioned that there was quite substantial participation of women, including women combatants.
Hell yeah.
Sadly, such mentions are made in passing, and, with the whole thing being woefully understudied by historians, no account that I could find has thus far specifically examined this aspect of the Makhnovщина.
I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Women history, again, we will push it under the rug if we own a rug, which is
unlikely.
Unlikely. Ukraine in 1919. Under the floorboards with it. Yeah,
it's like there is a lot of work that like feminist Marxists did during that time. Like a lot. We
covered them like 30 years later.
No, they were not Marxists. They were.
Those were The
fighter pilot women were like super soldiers that were just really good at their job.
Fair.
And were brainwashed by a government. That's not fair to say that they really had like values that they were fighting for, and that they just wanted to kill people. Which
fair enough in that case, because it's Nazis.
They were fighting Nazis. Yeah. But
slay.
Slay. Yeah,
literally.
Slay
Literally slay.
But a lot of these like communist, Marxist, anarchists were like still pretty, misogynistic.
Oh,
like
incredibly.
This is still Russia in the 1910s. We're talking about.
Yep.
They were like, everyone should be free, but not you. You're gonna stay at home, and you're gonna be my slave. I'm freeing myself from slavery.
Yeah. Just men have freedom.
Yeah. You're not a person.
Yeah. The Third Congress, according to historian Michael Palish, also, quote, rejected with the approval of both rich and poor peasants the Bolshevik expropriations. So the Bolsheviks are so bad that the rich and the poor are like, shake hands together, like no, we don't want this bullshit.
The Bolsheviks are the Reds? Or?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah, those are the Soviets. The Soviets, basically. Yeah. These expropriations were nominally undertaken against the kulaks, with half the land going to the poor peasants and half to the state. However, as the Ukrainian peasants had already expropriated the kulaks themselves and split the land equally between everyone, they rightfully felt that the Bolsheviks were stealing the land from them.
I mean, I kind of agree. Why does the state
exactly. We already divided it up equally against everybody.
Yeah. Why do you need some of it?
No, not some of it. Half of it.
Yeah, half of it. Why? Yeah.
Because state awesome. Yeah. State power good.
Yeah. Well, because we want it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We want it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on. We're like the church.
Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And by mom, I of course mean Mother Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
That was stupid. So,
on another note, less than a month after the Third Congress, we got this interesting and telling episode recounted by Arshinov. Quote, on May 4th or 5th, 1919, Makhno and a few commanders hurriedly left the front and went to Huliapau, where they were awaited by the extraordinary plenipotentiary of the Republic. That's a title?
Say that again?
Extraordinary plenipotentiary. What is a plenipotentiary?
Can I see this word?
Yeah.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
That's a $200 word.
Oh my god.
What is that? But it's a title, clearly.
I need to. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We'll look this up right now.
I'm looking this up.
Ben, you failed us by not explaining what a plenipotentiary is.
Well, wait. What's the next sentence? Because
oh yes.
Maybe it's the next sentence.
Yeah.
So his name is, the guy is called El Kamenev, who had arrived from Kharkov with other representatives of the Soviet government. So yeah, he's just a representative, I guess. of the Soviets.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it does say a person, especially a diplomat, invested with the full power of independent action on behalf of their government, typically a foreign country.
Whoa, okay.
That's a lot of fucking power.
That is a crazy amount of power.
Okay, independent.
Could you imagine if Mr. Worldwide, the Cuban foreign minister in our mind, had the ability to like declare war? We've decided that we think that
Haiti must be gone.
Haiti must be destroyed.
And he's visiting Haiti at that point. Like that would be that way.
We'll pick a fight with Denmark just because.
That is crazy.
Okay, so this guy was granted the power to
do whatever he wanted
on behalf of whom again? The Soviets?
The Soviets, yeah.
Okay.
So he came from Kharkov with other representatives of the Soviet government. At the Verkhny Tokmak station, Makhno saw a poster with the words, quote, "Death to Jews, save the revolution, long live Batko Makhno."
Oh, Makhno.
This guy is not slay.
Not a good look.
Not a good look.
Quote, "Who put that poster up?" Who put up that poster? Sorry, I fucked that up. Let me take that one. Who put up that poster? Makhno asked. He learned that the poster had been put up by an insurgent whom Makhno knew personally, a soldier who had taken part in the battle against Denikin's troops, a person who was in general dissent. He presented himself immediately and was shot on the spot.
I mean, okay, actually he is a slave.
Boom, Makhno. We don't...
Legend.
Wow.
Legend.
Damn.
Absolute. He's base as fuck, dude. That was one of his friends, too. Was some fucking friend, too.
You don't know your friend, apparently.
Check on your friends. Check on your friends.
Check on your friends.
Yes.
This is a note to our audience.
See if they're anti-Semitic or not.
Yeah.
Do the anti-Semite check every once in a while.
Yeah.
Do they refuse hummus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, continuing with the quote. Makhno continued the journey to Leopold. During the rest of the day and during his negotiations with the plenipotentiary of the Republic, he could not free himself from the influence of this event.
They need a better word for plenipotentiary.
Hey, I pretty much nailed that one.
Yeah. No, you did. It's just that's a bad name for what it is. For guy who can do
omnipotent,
whatever.
basically.
Omnipresent, omniscient, omniscient.
Once you're done saying it, he's already killed you.
Yeah, exactly. I am the supreme. I can do whatever I want on behalf of the
plenipotentiary.
He realized that the insurgent had been cruelly dealt with, but he also knew that in conditions of war and in view of Denikin's advance, such posters could represent an enormous danger for the Jewish population and for the entire revolution if one did not oppose them quickly and resolutely. So that's basically his explanation why he shot him on the spot. It's like, we have to do it now. We can't let this slip.
I don't think you needed an explanation, but okay.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's
like,
fair.
No, you're being racist. And you're doing it in my name. Like, fuck you.
That is the craziest thing,
But also, being anti-Semitic was pretty, like... not necessarily expected, but it seemed like that was something that was pretty...
That's super normalized.
Normal at this time.
Yeah, because
so
at this point, the protocols of Zion, which most likely, again, the Tsarist movement created itself, was already in heavy circulation at that point. So of those fucking... The beginning of what is now the modern anti-Semitic conspiracy theories root all from there.
Well, not all from there. A lot of them are like...
Well, but they turbocharged it, and by having the printing press... Because everything before that wasn't like wildly distributed, but this was just like everywhere.
So it's a false flag operation.
The Tsarists did that to get some of that sweet money, and also by having a group where all the failures of the state can just be pointed to them.
Yeah.
Which the Germans then just did after World War I by
Yeah.
having the stab in the back theory.
Yeah, the stab in the back theory.
Yeah, that is the main.
That's what they called.
Yeah.
I've never heard someone call.
Yeah, that is the German version of that conspiracy theory. Is that the reason why Germany lost during World War I was there were too many Jewish and other dissenting elements inside the Germanic race.
And they called it stabbing in the back.
Yes, because they
What was
did it from the inside.
What was pushing him down the staircase taken? Like what? Like, that seems a bit.
I think it's called Stich in den Rücken in German.
Okay,
yeah.
that's. I don't think that's
Never
very
can.
like well known outside of like German speaking.
So yeah,
It's not,
but this
yeah.
is the same fucking shit.
Yeah, okay.
This is all it stems all from the same fucking center point, which is that the Romanovs really hated Jews.
Yeah, fuck the Romanovs.
Oh no, terrible people.
Fuck all the Romanovs.
They are the reason why this exists right now. This what we're talking about right now is the Romanovs' fault.
Kind of. I mean, it's still the.
They
fucking
dragged themselves into World War One.
Oh yeah, the Soviets are a big problem though. The fucking
The ones that replaced them are also awful.
Yeah,
Yes, everybody's awful here except for Batko, who just murked an
anti-Semite.
An anti-Semite.
A
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
racist piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who was a friend of his?
As a friend of that
is
doesn't speak well to his like judgment.
also just the type of people you can just get at that point, you know?
Yeah. I have to remind myself that basically everyone that's taking part is a volunteer.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, no one's militarized because they don't believe in that.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
They do, but not really. Like,
Yeah,
And you get what
it
you
has
pay
to be
for.
voluntarily
Yeah.
given. It has to
Yeah.
be voluntarily given. All right. Also in May 1919, the Bolsheviks saw their power threatened by the Ukrainian Anarchist Federation Nabat, which translates to alarm.
Wait, sorry. What? What do they call alarm?
That's the name of the Ukrainian Anarchist Federation. There's a different one.
That's a better name than the Legion of Poor Peasants or whatever it was called before.
Alarm!
Alarm.
Alarm.
Yeah.
That's kind of badass.
Which worked closely with the Makhnovists and responded by suppressing Nabat's newspaper, also called Nabat. That's some Apple shit right here.
Yep.
And threatening its editorial board with arrest. They also started a baseless slander campaign against Makhno and his troops that was bad enough that even Vladimir Antonov of Senko, overall Red Army front commander in the Ukraine, came to their defense saying about one such slanderous article that it was, quote, the most perverted fiction and does not in the least correspond to the existing situation. when a Soviet says that, you know?
Yeah, they're like the masters of spin.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they're like, you overspun.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But was it ridiculous though? Like that's what I want to find out because I don't actually think they're above any accusations at this rate. They're not. Nothing is even a cohesive state. There is no cohesive state at this point. In history.
Yeah.
It's
It's a whirlpool of chaos a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
93 military uprisings is nothing to sneeze at.
Like, how does that happen?
One at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta work
take
at
a
it.
revolution one at a time.
Got to work at it. Yeah.
Who is keeping track if people are dying?
I want to see that map.
Oh, yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks like probably like a chaos.
I want to meet the historian that was there being like, someone's got to write this down.
Yeah.
Someone's got to write this
Meanwhile, in early May, Nikifor Hruroriv, Hryhoriv.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Hruroriv.
Can I see?
Please, have at it.
Chroriv.
Hroriv.
Oh, there we go.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm basing that. I'm
Sounded
assuming they
better.
don't.
Let's just call him Nikki.
That's not going to help. There's going to be too many. Well, let's call him Ivan.
Okay, yeah, sure. Nikita, yeah.
Nikita. Okay,
All right.
yeah.
Meanwhile, in early May, Nikifor, a former Tsarist general who had joined first with Petliura's nationalist Ukrainian government and then with the Bolsheviks, now started rebelling against them in central Ukraine. Ashinov described his temperament as a mix of, quote, a certain amount of sympathy for the oppressed peasants, authoritarianism, the extravagance of a Cossack chieftain, nationalist sentiments, and anti-Semitism.
I'm confused about who's saying this now. Like,
This is Ashinov.
who Who's Ashenov?
Ashenov is, I think, one of the guys that works at least with the Makhnovists.
Okay.
Yes, I think he's a Makhnovist.
Okay.
And he's talking about this former Tsarist general who's just like a warlord basically now in central Ukraine. What a mixture of, that would be a great profile on Tinder. A certain amount of sympathy for oppressed peasants, authoritarianism, the
And
extravagance of Cossack chieftain,
and for anti-Semitism.
Yes.
Is that the last thing?
nationalist sentiments, and anti-Semitism.
A Nazi.
Yeah.
I'm sympathetic towards.
Yeah. This is all saying you want to be a Nazi without saying you're a Nazi.
Yeah, tell me you're a Nazi. Oh my God, I have to remember they don't have a word for that yet.
Yeah, it doesn't exist yet.
I don't have a word.
Fascism doesn't exist yet, technically.
Oh, true. Oh my God. We're pre-everything.
Yes. The Makhnovists issued a proclamation against him for trying to impose his authority on the workers and encouraging them to attack each other.
They don't like that. They really don't like when you tell them what to do.
As well as for his inciting of pogroms.
Of what?
Pogroms? Those are just...
Programs?
Pogroms are the mass killings of mostly Jewish people.
Did you know what that meant?
I'd heard it before, but I knew it was bad.
I've never. You said that like this is a word that like most people are gonna know.
No, it's
I
a pretty...
thought so because it is a very common word in German.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Kristallnacht, for example, that would be considered a pogrom.
Okay. Yeah, that's not something the English-speaking world would necessarily know. I don't know how you know this.
I definitely heard it. Yeah.
So
but I don't know it.
So that Nikki's a bad egg. Let's put it that way.
We knew that, but okay. We know he's really bad.
He's following through on his anti-Semitism. Yeah. The Red Army withdrew all reserves from the front to fight Nikki, leaving the Makhnovists on this front severely weakened. By the 19th of May, the Black and Red troops were in retreat before the Nikin's white forces, and on the 29th, the Tsarists broke through. Shit. Given the gravity of the situation, the Revolutionary Military Soviet decided to call a fourth Congress of Workers, Peasants and Insurgents, inviting also the Red Army troops for June 15th. Their call went out on May 31st, containing the statement, quote, that only the working masses themselves can find a solution, not individuals or parties. Yeah, because it's all going to hell right now.
That's kind of nice to see them teaming up against the fascists.
Yeah.
It's nice to see leftists working together.
It's the universal theory of fuck that guy.
Yeah, basically. Enemy of my enemy.
Common enemy.
Yeah.
So another meeting? This is another meeting.
Yeah, and we're gonna have another meeting.
And wasn't one of them 2 million people? Like
No, 2 million people voted on 78 guys to represent them.
Much more practical.
Yes.
Okay.
How are you going to keep track of those votes?
Everybody holds up those flashcards for voting.
Recount the votes.
Can you imagine telling 2 million?
I forgot to carry them on.
Guys, keep it down a little bit.
Don't tell me to shh. We don't believe in that.
We have no microphones yet, so if everyone could just please be quiet.
We've got one talking stick. It's the shotgun from earlier.
Trotsky himself retaliated against this shameless affirmation of workers' rights and freedoms by issuing Order Number 1824 on June 4th, which stated that the Congress was, quote, directed squarely against the Soviet power in the Ukraine. Note that by Soviet power, Bolsheviks like Trotsky always and quite openly meant the dictatorial power of their party over the Soviets, rather than the Soviets themselves getting any say in anything. So okay.
As per usual.
Yeah. This is just a euphemism for no, we want all the power, please. Yeah.
Power, please.
Yeah. It further claimed Trotsky.
Please, sir, may I have some more?
I'll fucking Photoshop Trotsky into that.
I don't know much about Trotsky. I feel like I should know more. I feel like I should have done research on Trotsky.
Might be a nice future read.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I feel like
that guy also had a crazy.
We've been doing this podcast so far to where we come in knowing nothing and then we react to the history. But this is the first time where I feel like fuck. I didn't do any research.
You could.
I don't know. Well, no, we're not allowed to. We're literally not allowed to. That's how the whole thing works. But now I'm like, I feel like I'd have more to say if I knew who any of these people were really.
He got shanked with an ice pick at the end of his life. Let's put it that way.
That does not narrow it down at all.
Stalin hated him.
So he hated a lot of people. He hated his own son. He
Yeah,
let
that
him
is true.
fucking die in
Sons
a gulag.
plural, right?
But yeah, but the one he let die in the gulag.
Oh, yeah.
That's
They
what I
really
was
didn't like that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, these are like the only thing. Like, I know Stalin, because he had a kill count that was almost as bad as this fucking Nazi from earlier who was sympathetic to anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
No, but all right. So sorry, where are we?
Yes.
They called the meeting.
And the Soviets are not happy with them letting the people vote on stuff.
Which is like, bro, that's a pretty big thing to have a problem with. That's kind of our
Well,
whole
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, is that we let people vote on stuff.
That's kind of
literally-
what they're fighting for. That's like kind of like what's like we'll shoot you if you keep doing that. And it's like okay, we'll shoot you back. We're having a meeting.
We literally shot.
We're having a meeting, or we'll kill you.
We're having a meeting.
Meeting or death.
Yeah.
Those sweating 2 buttons. Meme.
That's good. That's good.
It further claimed that Makhno's brigade was retreating before the Whites, quote, on account of their incompetence, criminal designs, and treason of its commanders. So more slander by the Soviets, even though they retreated from that front line.
The fucking Soviets are some shady ass bitches.
Yeah. Oh,
They
what a
talk
surprise.
no, as in like Mean Girls.
Oh,
They
yeah,
talk
yeah.
so much shit.
Have you seen Batko? He looks so awful recently.
But that fucking Nicky guy, he's so hot.
Yeah.
A sexy little
I
fascist.
love how he
uniform.
kills Jews.
I love how and he wants like total control. That's so hot.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck this guy because he keeps like telling us what to do, and
Yeah.
we don't like that.
Yeah.
We don't like that either. We don't like you. They don't like telling each other what to do, but we definitely don't want you telling us,
Yeah.
the state,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
to do.
exactly. While Makhnovists, Bolsheviks, and Denikinists front accounts all agreed that it was the regular Red Army that couldn't hold the front.
Oh my god, I can't believe that fucking Trotsky's going on about it. When they couldn't even hold the front.
Yeah, it went on to forbid the Congress, participation in it, and even discussion of it on pain of death.
Wait, what?
You get killed if you even talk about the Congress.
Nobody
In the Red
talks.
Army's eyes.
First rule of
It's
the
the
Congress.
first rule, yeah, and the second rule.
We killed the last guy for being anti-Semitic. What do you think we're gonna do
Yeah,
to you?
that's the third rule. Don't kill Jews. That's the third rule.
The order was brutally carried out, particularly in the villages, where many peasants carrying the council's call, or even suspected of sympathizing with Makhno, were shot after a scam trial before they could even have a chance to learn about Trotsky's order.
Scam trials. This is probably the first one that the Soviets ever had, wasn't it? This is the beginning of
Yes,
an era.
Yes. This is where they learn.
Yeah, scam trial. That's a new phrase. You usually call them like show trials or like mock
Ukraine
trials.
is their beta, basically, the
But
beta
like,
version.
they're not even trying to hide it. They are scams.
Yeah.
This is not real. We just want an excuse to kill you.
Yeah.
With some pretense.
Ho. What's more, the Cheka had already sent 2 agents to assassinate Nestor in late May.
Did they?
Combined with Denikin's Whites breaking through the Red ranks and the Bolsheviks now blockading vital deliveries to the Makhnovists, the insurgent army had no choice but to retreat. Which the Bolsheviks probably thought for the best, as Trotsky would soon publicly state that letting Denikin have Ukraine would be better for the party, as the workers there would come to choose the Communist Party over the Tsarist terror, implying that the same would never happen with Makhno and anarchism. We're gonna make the situation worse first, so that the people think we're the good choice. This is Uber! This is Uber!
No. This is the Democratic Party of the United States.
Yes,
Damn.
This is some status quo bullshit. Trotsky,
You're gonna be happy that we're not Trump.
Yeah. Oh my
Basically.
God, they're
Yeah.
the Joe Biden.
Yes.
They're Joe Biden.
They're Joe Bidening it, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so depressing.
Biden their time.
Well, I mean, at least this pun works. It's accurate. It's accurate to what's
Hey,
happening.
congrats.
Thank you.
Thank goodness.
Good job. We're proud of you. Son, we're proud of you.
The Bolsheviks' betrayal of the Makhnoists led to Denikin's capture of Huliapol on June 6th. So
Wait, so they weren't successful killing Batko?
No.
They tried.
They tried.
I wish we had more details.
Yeah, I wish too.
'Cause
But again, we have so much to go through.
True.
An exclusively Jewish artillery battery of insurgents must resist. That is a great bit. All Jewish artillery.
Oh yeah, you could do the voice. I see. They were defeated by a latte. They were defeated by an extra milk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There was too much dairy in the MREs. Oh, my tummy hurts.
Am I stupid? I don't get these jokes at
No,
all.
those neurotic New York Jewish people.
Are them drinking lattes? Is that a stereotype?
Yeah, stereotype is lactose intolerance. Yeah.
Oh my god, I've never heard this stereotype before.
Well, get ready. A whole new world is opening for you.
Oh my
Yeah, we
God.
might find some new anti-Semitism in this as well.
I'm
Let's
learning
explore. Let's
so
find.
much.
Yeah.
But no, exclusively Jewish
Yeah,
artillery
you're
battery.
the New Yorker here.
I know.
Basically.
Sorry to.
No, not sorry. You have to educate us.
I have
now.
to import some anti-Semitism for you.
into Austria.
Fresh out of New York.
Hot off the press.
Step right up.
Got that new shit. Got that new shit.
Like new Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jews, they drink lattes and they live in brickstone buildings.
Old Semitism, new tastes.
Same classic taste.
Pepsi Crystal Nacht.
Can I be excused? What the fuck?
Can I be excused 5 minutes ago, please?
All right, let's go back to more fighting. So an exclusively Jewish artillery battery of insurgents went out to meet the whites, and quote, and the entire battery perished there, down to the last man and the last shell. That same day, the Bolsheviks issued an arrest order for Makhno. Nestor was warned and put in his resignation as commander of the 3rd Trans-Dnipro-Batko-Makhno Brigade. Great name, great band name, by the way.
Say it again.
Trans-Dnipro-Batko-Makhno Brigade.
Say it again.
Yeah, fuck you. 3rd Trans-Dnipro-Batko-Makhno Brigade. There we go. Nailed it.
Bratko, matko.
No, fuck you.
Oh, no, I want to know how to say it. I wasn't making fun of you. I wanted to say the
3rd Trans-Dnipro.
3rd Trans-Dnipro. Can I see this? Because it's easier if I just read it.
The Dnipro is just a river. So the Trans-Dnipro would be like Trans-Danubia, I
Batko
guess.
Matko Brigade is a great band name. You are correct, Ben. It was
Yes.
Ben who said this, not
Oh,
Paul.
nice.
I thought
Yes.
it was you who was.
Sorry.
Well, I don't think it's correct. I think it's ironically correct. It's a terrible band name. I mean,
No, Batko. I disagree. I think that's.
The Batko-Makhno Brigade?
You telling me you wouldn't go to a
it's
punk
too
show with that name?
long.
Ah.
It's too long and it's hard to say.
Fall Out Boy's song titles were all too long. And yet, I mean, they sold out and now they're all like one-word titles, but their prime
Right.
was very... No, I would absolutely go to a punk like basement show called Batko Matko Brigade.
Yeah, me too.
Batko
All
Matko
right.
Brigade.
So he resigned from that while stating, quote, I consider it an inviolable
Yeah.
right of the workers and peasants, a right won by the revolution, to call congresses on their own account to discuss their affairs. That is why the prohibitions of such congresses and the declaration proclaiming them illegal represent a direct and insolent violation of the rights of the workers. All right, so he's not happy.
Fuck these guys that are in a brigade named after me. I disavow it.
Well, because they would have to arrest him because the Soviets are deciding on that shit.
I'm just thinking like... Don't name it after yourself.
I think it's not they named him after him and then they put him in charge of it.
Maybe
He didn't name it, I think.
I don't think he named after.
He didn't even want the name Batko.
They shouldn't have. They shouldn't have named it after the guy who's quitting. Is all
Fair
I'm
enough.
saying.
That's fair.
That is yeah.
Imagine if Apple was called Steve Jobs. Like that would have been really awkward. They would have changed the name to Cook
Yeah, the Tim Cook Company.
to Tim Apple.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next chapter. White Terror and the bamboozling of Nikki. Again, I can't do it.
That's a good band name. White Terror and the Bamboozling of Nikki.
Yeah, there we go.
If we're talking long band names, then that's good.
I think it should be a different name than Nikki, but everything else, yeah.
White Terror and Bamboozlement would be a good. Yeah, stop it.
White Terror and the bamboozling of, I don't know.
I'm White Terror and these are the Bamboozles. How you guys doing?
There we go. We found it. While Makhno managed to escape, 5 of the insurgent army's staff were arrested and shot by the Bolsheviks. Huliapol was retaken by Bolshevik forces on the 9th and 10th of June. Naturally, they took the opportunity to attack and destroy the peasant communes there. On June 21st, Denikin breached the Red Front again, which Trotsky, in another one of his innumerable shameless lies, once more blamed on the insurgents. In somewhat happier news, it was in the summer of 1919 that Nestor married his wife. Aww.
That's the first time she's been mentioned the whole time. He's had a girlfriend?
Apparently, Halina Kuzmenko, a primary school teacher originally from central Ukraine, whom he had met in Huliapol in the spring of that year.
Could you imagine your fucking primary school teacher's husband is fucking like Fidel Castro? Yeah, I teach kindergartners how to do their ABCs, and my husband has to deal with 93 insurrections a year.
Yeah, I have to ask to go to the bathroom. Your husband's trying to take over the Ukraine.
One of the insurrections was actually the classroom.
Yeah.
Why did this not come up sooner? That's
nap time is all day long. We should have as many naps as we want to have.
Your husband doesn't believe I should listen to you. Your husband says
I'm voting that you'll not be my teacher anymore.
I don't know, nap time for me.
We can all eat glue if we say we can.
Anarchist on the street, follow rules in the sheet. I don't know.
Why would you? No, all this chaos is happening and they're still just going to school and like sending their kids. That's so insane because you don't think about that ever whenever you're talking about these people don't talk about like the people that were just chilling in France during the revolution.
Yeah, just having life.
They were just like
they were still like normal lives.
I'm a farmer. I can't be getting part of this like Robespierre bullshit. I don't have time to drink lattes and fucking and have liberal ideas.
Oh, the latte. Oh, my stomach.
So he married her like a few months after he met her. Yeah.
Oh.
So he met her in spring and in summer he married her. So
why?
No report in the courtship.
Gotta go quick.
Nothing on the courtship end. Nothing on the what did he get her on their first
date? At least
date?
buy her dinner first.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
There's no dinner.
That's true.
We are in war. Are you crazy? We can eat some leaves shaped like food.
But why get married so quickly then?
I don't know. Maybe they just love each other. I don't know. We'll see.
There is no love in Ukraine.
Oh, I know why he loved her. According to Alexandra Skirda's excellent biography, Nestor Makhno, anarchist Cossack, she could handle a rifle as well as a machine gun and worked for a time in the Makhnovist intelligence branch.
She's
a spy. She's a teacher spy who can. Oh, that is some anti-fucking James Bond shit.
That sounds hot.
She controlled the fuck out of that class.
Yeah.
We were all just
I know who did it.
Yeah. She's like, shh. You better get that glue out of your fucking mouth, or I'll send you to the front lines.
Yeah. I'll teach you about sharing.
Nestor, meanwhile, after leaving the front, accompanied only by a small cavalry detachment, quietly retreated north, skirmishing with Bolshevik troops along the way, and soon found himself approaching the center of Niki's remaining influence. Given the situation, Nestor had no other choice than to retreat with the general. But he was also aware that Niki had instigated at least one major pogrom against the Jews in his territory, in which over 3,000 were killed.
Damn.
Oh, fuck. Actually, that's kind of like rookie numbers, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but, again, we're pre-modernization as well. You still had to carry all of that out with,
with one shotgun.
Yeah, with one shotgun and horses,
They still just have the one shotgun. Yeah. Nothing is improved.
On Nestor's initiative, they invited Niki to a congress in a nearby village to discuss a joint program for the insurrectionary Ukraine. Quote here by Ashinov.
We got to do something. This is happening 93 times a year.
This is like
We're having another meeting.
This is like USB, you know. We've introduced 75 standards to finally get rid of all different plug standards. Okay, now we have to introduce a 96th standard to get rid of that new standard, you know? I promise you guys, USB-C will be the last one. I promise you. USB-D waiting, you know? Quote, nearly by Ashinov, nearly 20,000 people came. Peasants and insurgents, Grigoriev's detachments and Makhno's troops. Among the many scheduled orators were Grigoriev, Makhno, and other representatives of the two movements. Grigoriev was the first to speak. He invited the peasants and insurgents to devote all their forces to chasing the Bolsheviks out of the country, without rejecting any allies. Grigoriev said that for his purpose he was even ready to ally with Denikin. Afterward, when the yoke of Bolshevism was broken, the people would themselves see what they had to do. This declaration was fatal to Grigoriev. Makhno and his comrade Chubenko spoke immediately after Grigoriev and declared that the struggle against the Bolsheviks could be revolutionary only if it were carried out in the name of the social revolution. An alliance with the worst enemies of the people, with generals, could only be a counter-revolutionary and criminal adventure. Grigoriev invited participation in this counter-revolutionary, and consequently he was an enemy of the people. Following this, Makhno demanded before the entire Congress that Grigoriev immediately answer for the appalling pogrom of Jews which he had organized in Elisavetgrad in May 1919.
Explain yourself.
Exactly.
Stop killing the fucking Jews. You piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. As well as other anti-Semitic actions. Scoundrels like Grigoriev are the shame of all the Ukrainian insurgents. They cannot be tolerated in the ranks of honest revolutionary workers. Such was Makhno's final indictment of Grigoriev. Grigoriev saw that the situation was going badly for him. He reached for weapons, but it was too late. Simon Karetnik, Makhno's comrade, shot him with a Colt revolver, while Makhno himself shouted, "Death to the Ataman," which is a Cossack chieftain, and also shot him. Just double tapped him.
Nice.
Just to make sure.
Say, guys, you guys have no excuse not to know what happens if you hate Jewish people.
And yeah, exactly. They already know Makhno's stance on that, and they're still like, no, let's do some anti-Semitic shit.
No, let's do a lot of anti-Semitic shit.
No more pogroms. Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
Is he Jewish?
No, he just likes him.
He just likes him.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
Right. I just figured, because, like, yeah, I'm just thinking of, like, what, I don't know, why. Not that you need a reason necessarily to ally yourself,
you
but
don't.
He clearly is willing to kill people on the spot for that. That's more than a lot of people at the time, especially.
He's an ally.
Yeah.
Extremely. I guess that there was the Jewish guy who helped him when he needed him before.
Exactly. Yeah.
He just decided then and there, like, that's it. I'm helping every single.
Yeah. Oh,
every
they're
single
not
person.
demons?
Yeah. They're not letting my blood or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. Grigoriev's assistants and the members of his staff ran to his help, but they were shot on the spot by a group of Makhnoists who had been placed on guard. Mm-hmm. All this happened during 2 or 3 minutes before the eyes of the entire Congress.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That was a good meeting. That was exciting. That was a good one.
It took 4 times to get there, but
we got there. We got to.
That's exciting.
The most violent Congress.
I don't even think it's going to be the last violent.
I don't think so either.
Not going to lie.
Second and third speaker killed the first speaker. That is so funny.
Yeah, that was wild. That was not on the agenda.
And my rebuttal is...
Yeah.
and I don't even think the Congress was about him being anti-Semitic. It was about something completely different.
I know.
But while we're here...
But while we're here, let's take out the trash.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Quick sidebar. Yeah.
Sidearm.
Yeah.
Sidearm with the sidebar.
Circling back.
Yeah. With the machete.
Yeah.
Said Congress proceeded to pass a resolution stating that Niki's killing was, quote, a historical and necessary fact. For his policy, acts, and aims were counter-revolutionary and mainly directed to helping Denikin and other counter-revolutionaries as is proved by his Jewish pogroms.
Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds fair.
That is extremely fair and quick. This is the quickest.
Successful.
Yeah,
this is a successful meeting.
Yeah,
they finally came to a resolution.
Very few meetings get this much done.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Yeah,
to get done in a meeting.
But there's still so many pages, so our main baddie is gone now. So
one of the main baddies, yeah.
but like the worst of the baddies
the worst of them
so far,
because he was literally just a warlord.
Yeah. And super anti-Semitic for no reason.
Well,
literally a Nazi.
Yeah.
Literally a Nazi.
Well, for no reason. I guess it probably helped him enrich himself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Nicky's troops joined the insurrectionary army. Hey,
okay.
You want to join up?
Hey, if you
We
can't
killed
beat him,
all your officer stuff.
you can't beat him.
Yeah. But when a small group of them plundered several Jewish homes that summer,
Are you fucking kidding me?
Guys, we have a rule.
all of Nicky's former men were discharged for being unreliable elements whose re-education was not possible under the circumstances.
Discharged?
Well, they're just, again, they didn't kill anybody. They just plundered. That's different.
Okay.
That I don't think it is.
Not murdering.
First of all, it is a little bit on them for accepting the Nazis into their, expecting them not to be Nazis.
They gave him a second chance. They're like, we killed all the main guys. Let's try to have him be part of this greater thing we all want to achieve. And then the moment they fucked up, they're like, nah, fuck you guys. You can go home. Also,
I don't believe that these guys' hands are clean of Jewish blood.
Oh, hey, no.
I would have killed him. You know exactly. They've established multiple times that this is the price you pay for being violently anti-Semitic, and they just let him go. That's bullshit.
Well, I guess it's like, you can't waste those bullets.
They're dead now, if that helps.
We have bigger fish to fry, basically. This is the situation, I think. They couldn't have those again, it's not great, but what you're gonna do? According to the secret agreement Nestor had made with his regimental commanders, while still formerly part of the Red Army, he now recalled the rest of his troops from Bolshevik control and by mid-August commanded a force of 15,000 people. Red Army troops also defected to him in large numbers, chiefly because they felt that the Bolsheviks were abandoning the defense of Ukraine, which they were.
No. What? They care about something other than the stuff that they talk about all the time? Oh my God.
By the end of August 1919, Nestor felt strong enough to go on the offensive against Denikin, but was sorely mistaken. In the fighting that followed, the Makhnoists were slowly pushed further and further west, as Jewish anarchist and Makhnoist Volin recounts, quote, Denikin not only made war on the army as such, but also on the whole peasant population. In addition to the usual persecutions and beatings, the villages he occupied were burned and wrecked. The greater part of the peasants' dwellings were looted and wrecked. Hundreds of peasants were shot, the women maltreated, and nearly all the Jewish women, who were fairly numerous in the Ukrainian villages, were raped, notably at Guliapol, which is Huliapol now.
That sucks. Continue.
Yeah. No,
you laughing?
Like there's and again.
Who did this again?
These were
the Red Army?
No, these are the whites.
Oh, fucking
these
course.
These are the whites. These are the czarists, basically.
White people.
Yeah, white people.
White people problem.
This is white people's solutions.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
That's so disgusting.
The opposite of Mr. Clean. All right. Quote, this kind of warfare obliged the inhabitants of the villages threatened by the approach of the Nikinists to abandon their hearths and flee. Thus, the Makhnovist army was joined and followed in their retreat by thousands of peasant families in flight from their homes with their livestock and belongings. It was a veritable migration. An enormous mass of men, women, and children trailed after the army in its slow retreat towards the west, a retreat which gradually extended over hundreds of kilometers. So we're going into Trail of Tear shit.
Wow. Where did they go physically? Like where are they going?
West, I guess.
Just west.
And Huliapol, and that is where right now basically the war zone is between Russia and Ukraine.
Oh,
right
wow,
now. Yes.
wow.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to bring that up.
Yeah. No, I wanted to wait for the right moment, and this is the right moment, I think. Yeah. But they from that part of Ukraine, which is pretty east, they're just running west.
They're just running wherever
Yeah.
they could possibly, even potentially be safe, which is not a lot of places at this time.
As their retreat led them towards nationalist territory, the Makhnovists entered a non-aggression pact with Petliura in mid-September. By September 24th, however, white forces were appearing to the west, suggesting that the nationalists had let them through. Look, you get free pass, but we're also gonna get a free pass to the guys who want to kill you. Let him through. Let him through.
Sorry, I'm still hung up on the last stuff. I'm like not ready to laugh yet.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's just it's real because this shit's like happening
Right now, again.
Yeah.
Yes.
History repeats itself.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much the same stuff, like verbatim, is happening right now.
Yeah.
There.
And the Russians are at fault again.
Yeah. As per usual, the state.
Yeah. Well, the latter denied this. Didn't do it.
As per usual.
The insurgent army was now, at any rate, forced to fight the Denikins' numerically superior whites again. Their fortune turned when, at the Battle of Perehyonivka village, 2 days of desperate fighting saw Denikins' forces routed, with 2 of his regiment destroyed. The battle also saw the leading Makhnovist Kogan, a Jewish worker and vice president of the Regional Revolutionary Military Council of Huliapol, wounded. While he was being retreated at the hospital in the nearby town of Uman, the Denikinists seized him and killed him with sabers.
Wow.
With sabers.
Save a bullet.
That's
Save a
kind
bullet.
of badass.
You get wounded and then you get hacked to pieces.
That's kind of like.
Just shoot me, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can a guy get a break over here?
I know we're on a budget. Can you please just shoot me?
I know the bullet is expensive.
You can use my bullets. Please.
I'll share my bullets with you so you can kill me.
God.
Yeah. So
Imagine like, have either of you ever shot a gun before?
Yeah.
yes.
Imagine killing someone with a sword.
Oh,
I do it
so
all the time.
much work.
So
I
much.
think about it constantly. I'm imagining it now.
I did boxing for a while, and boxing for like 2-3 minutes at a time fucking wipes you out.
Yeah.
But you swing like a 3-4 kilogram sword the whole
Yeah,
time.
you'd be out of breath.
with intention to kill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so much.
I'm so sore.
Yeah.
I got a broken wrist from murdering civilians.
This killing is killing me. What's the deal with sabers? Seinfeld on the battlefield. Signed Field Marshal.
Hey. Not bad.
Thank you.
There's a really controversial joke I want to make that I think we're all thinking about, but I'm not going to make it.
Well, I'm
right.
not thinking it. So you're gonna have to just
Let's continue.
Yeah.
After
Different
the saber kill.
battlefront.
email it to me, please.
Yes. CC me.
Thank you.
The Makhnovists, meanwhile, now started an incredibly rapid advance in 3 directions at once. Such mobility being possible thanks to their Tachinki. The singular would be Tachanka. And
What are they?
you see one right behind you.
It's a wagon.
It's a wagon with a machine gun strapped to it.
Oh, that's so badass.
Yes, this is basically the beginning of the drive-by. No, seriously.
funny.
This is
On
the
wagon
this is
wheels?
the yes. This
That's
is
amazing.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, I love that Tachanka is the singular version. Isn't that the name of the girl on Boy Meets World? Right?
You would know that, not me.
I don't know that.
It's Topanga.
I actually wasn't sure.
But they're both in their own ways
the
very
Russian translation, she's Tachanka.
It's the same. Tachanka. Yeah.
Tachanka. But
Yeah.
Tachanki is the
The plural, yeah, Tachanki.
Tachanki, Tachanka.
These were infantry units mounted on light horse-drawn carts, sometimes with a machine gun mounted in the rear. A novel tactic at the time, for the invasion of which Nestor, according to historian Michael Mallet, quote, could be described as the inventor of the motorized division before the car came into general use.
Whoa.
And with it, the drive-by.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Because you can run away from unmounted troops and still shoot at them because the guy is pointing to the back.
Yeah, and if
So you
you
have the
you
horses
run away.
and you just keep plucking away at the troops who can't reach you now.
if you think about it,
It's the scoot and shoot.
I'm thinking about a drive-by nowadays. You'd have like glass shards to be concerned about, like if someone shot through a window.
Right.
You'd have like engines that might explode. But if it's just horses and some guys on a wooden. That I think you might have less to worry about.
You want to bring it back? Yeah, you think it should be-
Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
The new Toyota Tachanka.
Yeah.
Toyota Tachanka.
Because that's the modern version of it. It's just ISIS on a Toyota. It's called a technical. You know?
Yeah.
Where you just plop a 50 cal or whatever, or some rocket launchers or whatever on the back of the pickup truck, and then boom, you have a militarized
on a pickup
vehicle.
truck. I was gonna say.
But this is the
bring back
origin of
the
it.
horse and buggy.
Yeah.
Imagine
the CO2 output so much lower.
Yeah.
This is the green version.
Imagine
ISIS green.
Yeah.
We have a fair trade stamp.
how those like cities like New York or Vienna as well. They have like those little carriage drawn thing. Imagine
That as a Tachanka would be
Oh my
amazing.
God. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
kill two birds with one stone. Go on a romantic carriage ride with your date and kill your enemies.
Yeah.
Him and Batko and his wife would fucking love this.
It's romantic. Yeah.
Romantic.
You're like, and in the bag.
For their anniversary, something
For their
nice.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh shit.
That's amazing that we thank you for illustrating.
Thank you, Batko.
Thank you, Batko.
Thanks, Botko.
That is awesome. Not only
Did he create that?
well, he didn't create it, but he made it like in general use. He made it like
popularized it.
he popularized
Oh,
it.
he's a trendsetter.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that mean he was like the first drive-by shooter?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Oh my God, he
Snoop
killed.
Dogg
he
was
killed-
possible only because of Batko.
He killed Tupac. He fucking killed Tupac and Biggie, right?
With a few extra steps. Yeah.
He's only a couple of steps.
Yada, yada, yada. Tupac's dead. Yeah.
Batko.
Yeah, Tupacco. I'll allow it.
I'm not even mad. That's
No
actually
problem.
funny. I want that edit right now.
As a shout out to our first episode, I should also mention that the Wikipedia article on Tachanki informs me that while the etymology of the word is unclear, it may ultimately be derived from the town of Neutitschein.
Wow.
Neutitschein is somehow connected to drive-by?
Neutitschein
That's
kills
amazing.
Tupac Shakur
That is amazing.
and Biggie Smalls. It's responsible for the titty is responsible for so much violence in this world. But what does it have to do with Neutitschein? Like it was. That's a
Apparently, it's derived
It's
the word Tachanka. Maybe Neutitschein had a Ukrainian name as well, and that was related to Tachanka.
That's
maybe
a real name of a city that exists. Is Neutitschein.
Yeah.
I thought it was like an onomatopoeia, like chunka 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 chunka.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it
Right.
does sound
Yeah.
like an onomatopoeia.
Maybe it's all of those things that made it popular as a name. All right. The insurgent army smashed 3 of Denikin's reserve regiments in as many days.
Tachanka the tank engine. That's it. Sorry, I I'm sorry, I had to interrupt what you were saying to say that.
I think I can. That's different.
All right, that's a brave little engine.
Yeah. But same gun.
Yeah.
Same gun. Yeah.
Same gun.
Same kill count.
Okay, sorry, can you start that
Oh,
sentence
that
over?
is amazing. All right. The insurgent army smashed 3 of Denikin's reserves regiments in as many days, advancing as far as 235 miles, or roughly 380 kilometers east. So they are now pushing them back. On October 6th, they started a southward offensive, taking key ports and capturing a massive amount of equipment, including 600 trucks of ammunition.
Oh, shit. 600?
600 trucks of ammunition.
They went
Kindly
from
supplied to Denikin's troops by the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland.
Hello. Well.
Of course, the fucking Brits are involved in this.
fucking
Here we
Of
are.
course. Oh, fuck you, Britain.
Everybody take a
Because
drink.
They're supporting the worst part of
Yeah.
this whole thing.
Tale as old as time. I've literally almost never been on the right side of history.
And they fucked up in a way that now the guys they didn't want to have the weapons have the weapons now. And they're British made, so they're probably pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they literally built an empire off
And
that.
an aeroplane.
Wait, we give the Tsarist the airplane?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
which
Oh
would
my
be
fucking God.
invaluable at that point for reconnaissance. Invaluable. Because if nobody else has an aeroplane and you do.
What a weird time to have machine guns on horse carriages.
Literally.
Yeah, and
And then an airplane going over the top.
That is
which is 1919, so I'm assuming it's something like a Sopwith Camel, a biplane.
Yeah,
But that plane probably isn't all that, like...
No, it's not great, but again, it's way better than anything else, and you can do reconnaissance.
Yeah, it can
you
fly.
know troop movements of your enemy before they know about you.
No, you can vibrate in the sky.
You're
That's
up there.
not the same thing.
You're up there, though. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, and then you have to come back down. There, especially in wartime.
Or you shoot flares.
Yeah, well.
There are not a lot of options to come back down if you're in an airplane.
I think at that point, I might be wrong, but I think they used mirrors to do Morse code, basically, from the plane, like to your backstation.
Oh my God, you have to do Morse code and drive.
Well, you have a second guy.
It's like you can't even text and drive now.
like a 1918 plane. Let me just put it on cruise control.
LOL, what are you doing later?
No, you up?
You up?
You know how hard it is to send an emoji via Morse?
It's KK, but it's 2 X's. It's just...
That is crazy. So they captured an aeroplane from the nationalists. That the British tried to give the nationalists.
Hell yeah.
That is hilarious.
At first I was like, oh my God, they're good. That's why everything sucks now. But yeah, okay, they stole it. Good on them.
Soon afterwards, the Makhnoists also took the railway lines, thus finally cutting off all supplies from Denikin, who was at the time marching on Moscow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
History repeats itself.
Oh my God.
PMCs are storming Moscow. What the fuck is happening?
Like again, like 2 years ago they were just doing that too. 1 year ago.
It's not even a year, I think.
Oh yeah, true. I thought it was 17 for some reason.
Wagner happened, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah. No, I was talking about the storming Moscow again.
Oh, there's 4 versions of this now.
There's so many. When has Moscow not been
tried
stormed?
it tried to be stormed.
Yeah.
That's
93 insurrections.
93.
In this autumn of 1919, indeed, the Makhnovshchina reached its greatest extent, with the insurgent army themselves numbering around 40,000, and their area of influence extending over approximately 1/3 of the Ukrainian Soviet Republic, a region inhabited by 7 million people. So we're getting into Austria territory now. Denikin was thus forced to send some of his best troops to stop Makhno. The insurgents, meanwhile, on November 9th, took Katarinoslav, a key city, with the help of a workers' uprising. Nice. Mm-hmm. While the Makhnoists were forced out of the city after a month by the White forces and a typhoid epidemic.
Oh, fuck.
The damage was done. As Volin put it, quote, "It is necessary to emphasize here the historic fact that the honor of having annihilated the Denikinist counter-revolution in the autumn of 1919 belongs entirely to the Makhnovist insurrectionary army. If the insurgents had not won the decisive victory of Peregonovka and had not continued to sap the bases in Denikin's rear, destroying his supply service for artillery, food, and ammunition, the Whites would probably have entered Moscow in December 1919 at the latest."
Oh,
so
wow.
the fucking... The Makhnoists saved the Russians' asses, basically.
Oh my God.
That is hilarious.
These guys are like doing everything.
Yeah.
Like,
So many balls in the air.
Yeah.
So many balls in the air.
and they're doing surprisingly really well for literally just a ragtag team.
This will hurt so much later.
They started with 1 shotgun and
Yeah.
30 people to a literal British military aircraft.
They got a plane, yeah.
They got a fucking
Planes,
plane.
trains, and tachankas.
Yeah.
Chunkus.
Not quite automobiles. They're not quite
Tachanki, sorry.
Tachanki.
Okay, but there's, I guess they could have cars, but they're not like ready to go in the battlefield. There's cars, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's cars,
yes.
but there's no roads, really.
Yeah.
And on the
that.
Western Front, a year or two before that, the first tanks appeared.
Okay.
But those are not suitable for the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All the tanks that get stuck now, imagine them
Yeah.
with technology from 100 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
You know, they just get bogged down all the time. With a tachanka, you can at least unhook the horses
Yeah.
and drag the thing out again. You know, it's way lighter because it's made out of wood.
Yeah.
You know, so it is better than a tank from 1919.
Yeah, but the
also
tech,
the tank is such a still like a cutting edge weapon that only like 3 countries have them properly.
Really?
Yeah, the British, the French, and the Germans to a degree, but they're already, this is 1919, so the war is already over and they're demilitarized.
Oh, in 1919?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
yeah.
like, what? The other countries have tanks now.
No, that's why we don't see tanks in, also one of the reasons why we don't see tanks in this conflict.
Yeah.
It's just too cutting edge.
Yeah, and it's, I just assumed it was too early for that.
No.
For where they are, I figured it was too early.
So 1919, I think the French already have the FT, which is basically the model of which all modern tanks are based on. You have your tracks on the side, you have your turret that swivels on the top with a main gun and a side gun.
Yeah,
you have a driver, a commander. No, because the British just stuffed 12 people in their tank.
Oh, are you serious? With just one thing to...
No, 2 side cannons, no turret, tranks that go all around the thing itself. It drove poorly. It was basically a ship on land. That's what the British imagined.
That's all they knew how to do.
And the French perfected it by like, no, it has to be its own thing. Yeah, and then the Germans improved on that concept again in the interwar period.
As they have done.
By calling it a tractor.
They actually call it a tractor.
Yeah, that's how they covered it.
Oh my god.
They were like, no, das ist unser geheimes Traktorprogramm. No tanks to see here, no.
Secret program. A different program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Switch with the program. Get with the program. Get with the program.
Get with the pogrom.
Pogrom. There we go. That was the
pogrom
word.
Or go home. Shit. All right.
Let's go home.
Let's go back to the typhoid epidemic.
That's the bit you want to focus on?
Yes. Quote. No quote. Sorry. We're in the next chapter already.